Hey everybody, how are you today? I'm gonna do a little bird just for fun. I thought I would just go ahead and record it while I'm going. Hopefully you'll enjoy this. I don't always sketch out what I'm gonna do, but I'm just gonna give this a little sketch for fun. I'm gonna do this little bird. It's a picture that I found. It's apparently a common bird in Greece. So that's all I know about this bird, other than it's small and it's got a fun body shape and it's roundish, so it's good for the way I like to paint little birds. Some tail feathers out here, wing, little body. When I draw, I was always told in school, work general to specific. And so that's what I do. Start with general shapes and then work to more specific details. Look for relationships, like where is the eye in relation to the side of the head, relation to the wing, the beak. Often birds, the middle of their beaks come in line with their eye, so you can keep that in mind. Negative shapes, what does it look like on the outside? That can be a good indicator to help you get the shape you want. I've wet down my superbly fancy watercolors, and I have made a little bit of a gray color. I'm gonna just get this whole thing a little bit wet and a little bit gray. Because the bird's gray. It's a gray day where I live. So there you have it. Woo! It's not too wet, it's a little wet. I'm gonna get a little more brown for behind the bird. As you can see, my sketch is already almost gone. So that's cool. So you don't have to worry about it showing up too much in your final. Plus, I kind of like to see pencil lines, even though I used a pink watercolor pencil today. But I kind of like to see watercolor lines in the background. I'm finding this color, I don't know what it's going to be, but it's something from another painting that would make a good darker background color. I'm trying to keep the shape of the legs the way I had it around the belly. Its wing came out, so that way the background and the bird will be in communication with each other. And I don't know why I keep getting this dark red over here. All right. Okay, so that's kind of pretty. It's got a little background color. And now, this is an old piece of paper I'm working on. I didn't love the front. It was okay. So I'm reusing the background because why not? I don't think that I'm going to do anything with that painting on the other side, so I may as well reuse it. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to put water in the middle of the bird. All over it. See how that's got a little bit of gray in it, so you'll be able to see. And got the wing coming out here. And some tail feathers. Some tail feathers. Some wings. Wings. It's got its round shape. Around to its little round head and its eye in there. Beak. I don't know, my computer turns off way too fast. Okay. indication of legs. Why not? So this bird has a lot of orange up front. So I'm going to drop in orange. And that's a little more brown than I wanted, so I'm going to add some more straight orange. And I'm going to let the water pull it around, pull the color around. And birds are fluffy, so if you lift up your brush a lot, then you'll have starting to get indication of feathers. And I'm going to go ahead and put orange over where its eye is because it's got orange right around there, and the eye is black, so why not? Now toward the back of this bird there's a little yellow, but it's more of a gold color, so I'm going to try to make this a little bit light and a little bit yellow, and I'm going to drop a little bit of that in kind of underneath where I anticipate the wing going. A little bit of yellow there. And its tail feathers have a lot of brown in it, so I can make the colors all over work with each other. I like using colors here and there and everywhere on my paintings so that it feels like they all relate. Some brown clear up. I'm going to make this a little bit more brownish. So I'm mixing brown into my palette, and I'll drop some of that in here on the underside of the wing and be back here by the tail feathers. Neat. And in between all of this, there's gray on this bird. So I'm going to mix a little bit of brown with some blues and come up with a nice gray. I like to turn my plastic brush around. If you've seen my pictures before, this will look familiar to you. And I like to draw some lines. And this one's going to be, in this case, they're going to be some feathers. You can't see a lot what I'm doing now, but the paper will soak up ink in these little crevices. So you'll be able to see them as time goes on. You don't have to do it all over the bird, but if you just do want to do some indications of feathers here and there, it looks kind of cute. At least I think it looks cute. I like it in my paintings, so you can try it if you feel like it. If you don't like it, that's fine too. Who cares, right? Of little feathery things. I think its eye is going to be around there, so I'm going to kind of draw around the eye. My paper, can you see that? It's pretty wet still. Are gonna go. Cool. Now I've got my favorite teeny tiny brush, and I'm gonna make, I never make well, I shouldn't say, you can never say never. I almost never make or use a straight black. I almost always use ultramarine blue mixed with brown, because it makes, I feel like, I think it makes a more interesting dark color than straight black. So I'm mixing that right now. Mixing this ultramarine blue with a dark brown. This is a blue brown. I've got a red brown over here too. It's this one, but I'm not gonna add that. So I've got this lovely dark gray, okay? I'm gonna pull it, see there's plenty of it? So you see it's all very, very mixed. Okay, pull off the edges, because why waste, right? Watercolor, once it dries, you can use it all over again, so there's no need to waste your paint. I'm going to use this to draw so much cat hair. Some little darks in here. Maybe some right where there's some feathers. There's a line of golden feathers, so I'll put that underneath. And to differentiate where it's happening, this is his tail feather. I put some dark back in here. Nice. So I'm mostly working wet on wet right now. As this dries up, it'll change a little bit. So, oh my gosh, I'm gonna go ahead and make the beak. Got a little line there, and then with my even smaller brush, I'm gonna get some of that color. I'm going to wish the computer would stay on. I'm gonna come out, I'm gonna draw a little bit of the beak. It's got a little bit of a curve. Try to include that. And there's the underside. Cool. And while I'm here, I may as well start fleshing out this eye. I'm going to leave some highlights, the background color. And he's got a little bit of shadow around the eye. I can do that. Do that while I'm here. And then dry off my brush. Then look at this, I can blend in the little beak. So it looks like it's getting lost in some feathers. I can put this up here. That. Still pretty wet. I'm going to use this smaller brush, and I'm going to make some bright orange and a little bit of red even. A little bit of water. I'm making that right here. So you want it to be pretty mixed, right? Enough water so you can do what you need to do. I'm going to come back in here. I'm going to give this some darker areas. Mix a lot of darker orange in through here. Kind of looking at the shapes I want. Try to keep the colors from looking too muddy. And now I need a brighter orange, or up here by its eye. See, I got a little too much water. Beat it up right there. So I'm going to use that just to fill in right here. I'm going to use some of it up. Then I can come back here. See that? So I've used it kind of having to pull it back off. Just use it further down. This is still not as colorful as I would like it. So I'm going to add some even darker here. Woo! Pretty! And I'm going to get some of this dark gray I made earlier while this is wet. And I'm going to start blending these a little bit together. On its tummy. Bring some red in. It's got a little bit of dark coming off of its beak. I'm going to introduce a little bit of a yellow, more yellow color here and there. And I'm going to make sure that I use it other places too, because I want the colors to be all over. I think it looks better than having just spots here and there. I like the colors to communicate. I like them to flow throughout the whole thing. I want to have just yellow here, orange here, and brown here. I want them to be moving around. So, look, it's coming along pretty well. We're at it. And go ahead and add some more darks to this little one's feet. A little bit of dark later on here. And more in the eye. I'll keep building on this eye, rather than just putting in one huge dark blob. Okay, I'm going to keep building it. That beak is pretty wet, so let that dry a bit longer too. I like using random darks, like you see up here from past projects. This one has red and brown and blue from something, and it makes a really great dark color that has a lot to say. You know, it's not just going to be flat, boring dark. It's going to have some purple to it. I can use this to shape some of the wing. I like to pull in enough details that you can get an idea what's happening, but not so many that everything is completely, it's all solved. Or what I mean by that is that there's something to look at for longer than just a split second. There's some sort of story, a little left to the imagination. All right, so this is not as dark as I want it now that I'm getting rid of that ice. I'm going to make it even darker black. More blue and more brown. And I might add some of the red brown too. We've got a really dark gray. Okay, now that I've got this really dark, get some black, actual black, and mix that in there too. I want to get some really, really darks in that eye. Cool. I like this little brush. Usually if I go really slowly, I can do some details without getting myself lost. I don't want that to actually touch. So I'm clearing my brush off. His nose hole, I don't actually want it to touch the beak line. So I'm going to pull it back out. There we go. And I've got this really dark color. I'm going to do a little bit around his eye. Its eye, I don't know. So we can indicate that there's some feathers happening there. And I noticed that there's some, if you just put some feathers in here and there, you don't have the whole thing covered, you know. The idea that less is more, I think, comes into play pretty heavily. I've got some feathers I want to highlight here, and a long feather there. So this is turning out to be pretty long. Hopefully somebody out there in the world will enjoy it. You never know. You do your damnedest to get your art out into the world. God knows I don't know how you do it. But I do my best. Hopefully something will click at some point. It's got a lot of gray up through this section, so maybe I'll do a little bit more with this dark color. Add some indications of feathers. And so it won't be dark up here all by itself. I'll put some more up here. See, I keep adding to the darks. I can pull back from them too. So it was thick here. So as I keep going, see it's getting lighter and lighter. So I can come back, pull some off of that, and use that to indicate feathers throughout here. And because I still feel like there might be too much right here, I'm tempted to get a little bit of tissue paper. There we go. Dab it a little bit. Nice. Nice. Okay, got a big section here. And I've got a dark tail. Cool. It's coming along. What a cute little bird friend we have. Our bird friend ended up going off the edge of this. That's all right. That's okay. I think that this eye is a great dark. I'm going to pull a little bit off to make it look more like it's 3D'd. It's got like it's poking out. It's got light hitting it from different angles. So you see how that makes it look more like it's got lights and darks and it's a 3D object with shadows. And I can add to the shadow around the eye with what I pulled off. So there you go. There's a cute little bird. I think it might be super fun. Ooh, sorry. Now you've got nausea happening. If I could bring a little blue off of the bird. Just drag some blue around so it's got more of an environment to hang out in. Hello, little bird. I've got some gnarly colors back here. Look at that. Weird. So I'm going to let it get lighter the higher I go. So it can fade away into the sky. I'm going to soften the outside lines a little bit. I'm going to move my brush a lot though because I don't want it to just be a straight line of blended color. And there we have a lovely bird. Have a great day, everybody. Enjoy.